Good morning, Megapodlings. It's Crazy Joe. And there's always a delay. There's always a delay in me being able to get this. Oh, wow, I got volume there. You don't want to hear me echoing. There we go. Yeah, when I go to my channel, there's already people waiting sometimes in the chat. So it's like I think when I post that I'm about to go live, I think there's a notification and people are waiting because there's a lot of times people waiting. However, when I go to look for the chat so I can have the chat up, it's not showing on my end. So I always wonder, how did the people get in the chat and were waiting for me when I can't access it? I don't know. It's very interesting, but it is what it is. Good morning. Happy Wednesday. I see there's people here. Geriatric Geek is here. The great Geriatric Geek. I want my slaw. Aubrey is here. Brent is here. David Rembert is here. Bohemian is here. Welcome to all of you. He is not here yet. Joey Baseball's here. He's not here yet, but J2H is closing in on 1,000. He's like less than 50, I think, away from hitting 1,000. So if you're not subscribed to J2H, let's help him. Let's help him reach that milestone number. Go out, give the great J2H a sub, let's help him do it. I know he's been posting on Instagram. He's very excited because he's close. He's very close. So let's help him. If you are the 1,000th sub to J2H's channel, he's going to send you a free case of turtle wax. Did you know that? It's true. A free case of turtle wax awaits the 1,000th sub on J2H's channel. So let's make it happen. Sam is here, watching Rocket Man soon. Won't pay much attention. Well, enjoy Rocket Man. Joey says once he hits 1,000, the next 100 will come like nothing. Maybe. I still haven't hit 1,200. I've been nearing that for I think I'm at like 1,187, but I've been like in that plateau for a very long time. I'm satisfied as long as I got over 1,000 and can do these live streams. Because if I fall under 1,000, I can't do these live streams. Well, I can do them from the desktop. We all saw what a headache that was when I tried to do that. But I like being able to do these live streams. So as long as I can do that, I'm good. But there is a number. There is a number I would be very happy if I could hit. Jeez. Should I even say what the number is? Should I even say? I'd like to hit 1,800. 1,800. I got my reasons. I'm not getting into it, but I got my reasons. Aubrey says, who needs that much turtle wax? I don't know, but, a case of turtle wax was the prize du jour on 70s game shows. And I figure 70s game shows probably know something we don't. Joey says, I've said it before that 1,800 is the number. I'm nowhere near it. I mean, I haven't even hit 1,200. So, but, we'll see. Joey says, wish I had a need for turtle wax because I like free stuff. CJ says, a very hairy man. A very hairy man needs the turtle wax? It's possible. A turtle. Maybe a turtle needs it. A turtle ain't going to wax itself. It needs the wax. Kyle, the Steven Seagal fan, is here. Hey, Joe, got my Scooby set. Very nice. Very nice. That looks like it's a nice set. I don't know that I'm going to upgrade. I got the DVDs on Scooby, and I like Scooby-Doo. I really do. I'm a Scooby-Doo fan, but I'm not a hardcore Scooby-Doo fan. There's enough that I upgrade on, like anything, Star Trek related, I'm going to upgrade on. Anything like a lot of the DC Comics stuff, I'll upgrade on, but I don't know if I'll do it for Scooby-Doo, which doesn't mean I don't love Scooby. I do, but... Conor McGregor asked, did I get John Wick 3 yesterday? I got a free code for it. Regal Cinemas was having a, C4 movies. You get the digital codes for all four for free. So I went and I got the digital code for the movies were like Long Shot, Hellboy, John Wick 3, and some other movie that I don't remember. And I'll be honest with you, I didn't actually see the other movie. It was something I had no interest in, but I bought the ticket and then just kind of skedaddled into a different theater because I wanted to get the codes. John Wick 3 is the kind of movie that I don't think I need to own on physical because I was kind of underwhelmed by it. I own the first two on physical, and the third one I might pick up someday if I see it cheap enough, but I thought the third one was the weakest of the three. I'm pretty satisfied with just having digital, and it was Ultra HD too, so it was an Ultra HD code, so I'm okay for now. But did you get John Wick 3? That's the big question. Brent says, I forget what game show it was where one old guy won a life supply of rice-a-roni. The San Francisco treat. Mr. Noladij is in the house. Welcome, Noladij. How are you, my good man? Noladij is another one, much like our own Geriatric Geek. Geriatric Geek, you still here? Subscribe to these guys. Subscribe to Geriatric Geek. Subscribe to Noladij, as well as J2H. Joey asked if Dave ever found Maury. No, we're still looking for Maury. We haven't found Maury yet. As soon as we find Maury, we can do more Lunchbox Bunches. We need him in the control booth. That's why there hasn't been a Lunchbox Bunch. Maury's missing. As soon as we find Maury, we're good to go. CJ Cooper says, I bought the Star Trek movie collection, all 10. Ah, don't you mean all 13? There's 13 Star Trek movies, but I don't think the last 3 are in the collection. But fine films. Fine films, all of them. Well, except for 2 of them. I don't care for Nemesis or Into Darkness. But there is the man, Mr. J2H. He is here. Welcome, sir. Welcome. Noladij is at work. 44 to go for J2H. If you're not subscribed to J2H, let's help him. 44 more. And like I said, J2H is going to send you a case of turtle wax if you're his 1,000th subscriber. He's going to do it. He's going to do it. Bohemian says, I bought season 14 of Supernatural yesterday. I haven't watched season 14 yet. I'm still in season 13. I'm really behind on my Supernatural. And I'm not even watching them on like Netflix or on DVD. I'm watching them off my DVR. I DVR'd them when they aired on the CW, and I'm still a year behind. So go figure that. I should just give up on Supernatural. The bottom line is I used to love it, but there's a reason I'm a year behind. I don't think the new seasons are nearly as good as it used to be. That's just me. I know people still love it. Jamel's here. Says, how was my day? My day was fine, Jamel. How was your day? Bit rough at work. It was a rough day at work, but there you go. How much turtle wax do you get in a case? I don't know. You'll have to ask J2H. He's the man giving away the case of turtle wax. J2H, how much turtle wax is in that case that you're giving your 1,000 subscriber? Brent says he just subscribed. Very good, very good. Jamel's day was awesome. That is what we like to hear. Oh, boy. I should tell you now, I'll remind you at the end, but there will not be a Crazy After Dark 1 week from tonight. Next Wednesday, there will be no Crazy After Dark. I will probably do the Crazy After Dark on Monday, following the Cinema Sickness live stream, because I won't be at Cinema Sicknesses this week, this coming Monday. So he'll do his. I'll follow up with mine. But it'll be Monday next week because I have tickets to see Star Trek The Motion Picture next Wednesday. So next Wednesday, I will be seeing the only Star Trek movie that I've never seen on the big screen. On the big screen. Finally. Finally. Aubrey says, Joey Baseball, what would you do with it? With the case of turtle wax? Wax a turtle, Aubrey. What else are you going to do with turtle wax? You're going to wax a turtle. J2H says, little more than none. A lot less than a lot. Bohemian says, I love the Supernatural even though they added the Devil Child in it. I want my sauce says, did my last comment show? I don't know. What was your last comment? I'm going to have my gastric sleeve surgery next Wednesday. Oh, well, good luck to you. Good luck. I hope it goes well. And the good news is you won't miss Crazy After Dark because it's not going to be on Wednesday. So, but we raise a glass to you, sir. We raise a glass. CJ says John Wick 3 is not out in Australia. Not out on Blu-ray, or just it hasn't opened even in the theaters? Joey Baseball says, I don't really know what turtle wax is. I've never used it. I think it's something you use to wax a car. Kyle says, Joe loved the new release Jingle Monday. Thank you, Kyle. Now, here's the big question. Can I remember it? I'm going to have to go back and watch the video and see what I did, because that was, top of my head. Brent says, wax on, wax off. So what do we have to talk about this week? Is there anything worth talking about in the media, in the news? There's things I've heard that I think fall into the rumor category, so I hesitate to talk about them because I don't know if there's anything even remotely revolving truth. But there's a story going about. I don't know if it's true. I got nothing. But there's a story going about that says Amazon is interested in purchasing Sony Entertainment. Sony Studios. Not the whole Sony Corporation, just the studios. And the story goes that if this happens, Spider-Man's rights will revert to Marvel because that was a stipulation in the contract that if there's a merger or a sale, the rights go back to Marvel. So a lot of people have been speculating online, and again, it's all speculation. I don't know if there's even an ounce of truth to this, that part of the reason Disney tanked the discussions for upping the contract was because Disney wanted the contract to end. Disney wanted this contract broken off. That's why they made such a lowball offer, or such a ridiculous offer that Sony would never go for, in hopes that Sony would pass on it, the sale would happen, and they'd get all the rights back to the characters anyway at no extra charge. This all sounds very, very conspiracy theory. That's why I kind of even hesitate to bring it up. But it is interesting. It's very interesting. That's probably the most interesting thing I've heard in movie news this week, quite frankly. What do you guys think of that? Do you think that's even possible, or does that sound ridiculous? I don't know. Chime in. Let me know. Joey says, I was impressed with the jingle. Thank you. Put you on the spot, but you delivered. Well, thank you. I tried. I tried. Joey says, have I seen the Blue's Clues reboot? Not yet, but I've seen clips of it online. Kira described the new Blue as creepy. So, G2HS, thoughts on all the Ultraman being released from Mill Creek? I'm excited. It looks like it's going to be a lot of fun. I'll be honest, I haven't seen a lot of Ultraman, but I like old school Godzilla. I like that old kaiju stuff, and I think it's going to be, I'm looking forward to it. I'm looking forward to checking that out. Joey says, is Sony for sale, or is it a hostile takeover? Well, the story goes, again, here we are. We're talking rumors here. But the story goes that Amazon wants to own a movie studio to produce content for Amazon Prime. New original shows, original movies. So they have interest in owning a movie studio. And Sony, as a studio that has been underperforming for years, might be a studio they could go in and make a lowball offer on. That's how this rumor online goes. I don't know if I put any stock in it, but I'm bringing it up because it's interesting. I don't know. What do you guys think? Joey says that's a ridiculous rumor. Disney would buy it before Amazon. I don't know that Disney could buy it. I don't know that Disney could buy it. I think because, the government had to approve the Fox sale. And I don't know that they would approve another Disney acquisition. Disney's so big now. I think they might be like, no. Honestly, I really don't know if Disney could buy another studio and actually get away with it. That's an opinion. I really don't know. Maybe they could. Connor says, what are your thoughts on the Disney movie rewards becoming Disney Insiders? Connor, it's too soon for me to have thoughts on it because I'm not sure what Disney Movie Insiders is going to be yet. I'm a little concerned because I like the current program. I get so much free stuff. I get so many I love movie posters. I'm a movie poster junkie. But I get so many movie posters from Disney Movie Rewards. And it's like, well, what are you going to offer on Insiders? Is it just a name change? Is this it? You're changing the name. It's going to be the same stuff. If that's the case, I'm fine with it. But I think you got to show me what Movie Insiders is going to be before I can chime in on what I really think. Because right now, I'm a little nervous because I liked it the way it was. It's like, I don't think it was broken. I don't think you needed to fix it. That's just me. We'll see. Cal says, I love Smash Mouth's All-Star. It's a good song. It's a classic song. VMI119 says, hey, Crazy Joe, I noticed that you review horror, sci-fi, and comic book movies. Have you thought about reviewing a different genre, perhaps a chick flick? I don't know. I just kind of review what interests me, I guess. I don't watch a lot of chick flicks. But, I mean, I reviewed Once Upon a Time in Hollywood, and that's, I think, I'd call that a drama. I also reviewed one of my least watched reviews of all time, too. I also reviewed Best of Enemies, which was a drama film. And, yeah, if you look, like, my Best of Enemies review, I think that's still in, like, double digits. Like, that hasn't even hit, like, 100. Nobody cared about that review. It's kind of funny. It's like some of these movies, it's like just nobody, you can review it and nobody gives a damn that you reviewed it. Everyone's like, we don't care about that movie. We don't care what you think of that movie. We don't care. So, Best of Enemies was one of those. And I liked that movie. I gave it a positive review. And nobody watched my review. So, but yeah, I think pretty much anything that interests me, I'll give a review to. One movie I didn't do a review video for that I recently watched. And part of the reason I didn't do a review video for it was so much time had passed. The movie opened like a while back. So I'm like, well, everyone's seen this by now. No one cares my thoughts at this point. We're so far removed from the movie now. But I went and saw the new Lion King. And I got to tell you, I didn't really care for it. I've said before, I don't think I've ever said it. I don't know if I've said it on this channel. I said it on Cinema Sickness's channel. I don't really care about The Lion King. I know people love The Lion King. It's like this beloved movie. Disney fans freak out about The Lion King. And I don't dislike The Lion King. I don't hate The Lion King. Not only would I say I don't hate it, I don't even dislike it. I just don't care. But I went and saw the new one for a couple reasons. One reason being I've seen almost everything that's out. There wasn't a lot out to see. And I wanted to go to the movies. I'm paying the AMC A+. I'm paying my $20 a month whether I go to the movies or not. So it's like, okay, I want to see a movie. It's already paid for, the movie, because I'm on the A+. What's out? And I looked, I'm like, I haven't seen The Lion King. I like Jon Favreau. I liked his Jungle Book. Let's check it out. Nothing wrong with the film. It's not like I watched it and was like, that was garbage. But it's the same as the animated one. I'm just like, this story, the story of The Lion King, doesn't grab me. Just doesn't really, I don't dislike it. I just don't care. But yeah, I didn't do a review because I'm like, we're so far removed from The Lion King. Everyone's seen it by now that... Anyway, that was a rant. But let's go. Let's go. Joey says, the government has power against monopolistic practices. Disney buys all the seats in Congress. Well, I don't know if that's true, but perhaps. Aubrey says, I should watch Mean Girls. You're not the first to say that, Aubrey. One of these days I might. We're at a point right now where watching Mean Girls isn't the easiest thing because I don't own Mean Girls. I'd have to actually go out and acquire Mean Girls. I don't have Mean Girls. Maybe I should check, see if it's coming on TV or something. DVR it. I don't know. But I know a lot of people do want me to watch Mean Girls. I want my sauces. Are you going to buy some bootlegs at RetroCon? I'm going to try to buy very little at RetroCon. Not even lunch boxes. I'm going to try to buy very little because I just got back from Dragon Con. I spent a lot of money. I intend to have a blast at RetroCon. I'm moderating a panel. I'm moderating a panel with Buck Rogers, Gil Gerard. So that's going to be fun. I've never moderated a panel before. And I told him at Dragon Con. He was there. I went up to him. I'm like, hey, I'm moderating your panel at RetroCon. I said, go easy on me. I've never moderated a panel before. He told me, don't worry, nothing to it. I'm just going to bust on you the whole time. So I'm getting ready to get busted on by Buck Rogers this weekend. It's going to be great. I'm looking forward to it. Jesse's in the house. Welcome, Jesse. Connor McGregor says, the rumor is true about is the rumor true about the Muppets possibly being canceled to Disney Plus? Okay. A Muppet shorts, a series of Muppet shorts called Muppets Now was announced for Disney Plus. Still happening. Absolutely still happening. It's a series of shorts. In addition to this series of shorts, there has been a show that has been rumored, talked about. Everyone all Muppet fans knew it was happening, but it was never officially announced. There was going to be a series created by Josh Gad. Olaf himself was creating a Muppet show called The Muppets Live Another Day. It was set in 1984. It was going to be a direct sequel to The Muppets Take Manhattan. That show is dead. Now, again, that show was never officially announced. So when you say, is it true that The Muppets have been canceled at Disney Plus? It's kind of true. The show that they did announce, the series of shorts, that's not canceled. That's happening. The Josh Gad series, which never got an official announcement, is now dead. And you know something? I don't really care because I wasn't too excited about that concept. I didn't like the idea of a retro Muppet set in the 80s. Like, the Muppets have never been a nostalgia act. Like, whenever the Muppets have always existed in the present day. Always. So taking the Muppets and turning them into this thing of, like, a nostalgia act, like, oh, it's in the 80s. It doesn't feel right. Like, it doesn't, like, and I'm an 80s junkie. Like, you said something in the 80s, like, I'm excited. But that didn't feel quite right to me. Like, when I read the concept, I'm like, wait a minute. We're going to do, like, a Stranger Things of the Muppets where it's the 80s again. It didn't feel right. I don't know. I never was excited by the concept, and I'm not disappointed to hear it's dead. Especially considering this doesn't mean the Muppets at Disney Plus. They're still going to do stuff with the Muppets. It's just going to be a different concept now. Like, the shorts is still happening, and I'm sure they're going to go back to the drawing board, try to come up with some kind of new series without Josh Gad's involvement this time, but we'll see. Joey says Mean Girls is one of the most culturally significant movies this century. I can't tell if that's a joke or not. It may or may not be. I'm not sure. James says he likes Mean Girls. A lot of people want me to watch Mean Girls. John Wick Chapter 3 came out on DVD and Blu-ray on the 16th of September in Australia. It's a good movie, but I like the first two better. Noah Deesh says he likes the animated Lion King, but hasn't seen any of the live-action remakes. Live-action Jungle Book and live-action Aladdin are both really good, I think. Reptile Dude asked if I've watched Titans on Disney, DC Universe. Yes. Not the new season. I haven't seen the new season yet because I'm still knee-deep in The Dark Crystal. I can't binge these things. I got to watch them like one at a time. So I'm 4 episodes into The Dark Crystal and loving it. It is great. But I haven't started DC Titans yet. Season 2. I watched Season 1. Season 1 was excellent. Excellent. And what a surprise, too. Because the initial trailer for Titans looked terrible. It looked so bad. The F Batman trailer. But when you saw, even the F Batman wasn't bad when you saw it in context. In the trailer, it just seemed like shock value. Like, oh, did you hear what Robin said? But when you saw it actually in context, it was like, Oh, no, I get what they were trying to do here. They cut a bad trailer. But yeah, season 1 was excellent, and I'm really looking forward to digging into season 2, but I haven't gotten to it yet. Sawyer says that Rampage shirt is on fire. Thank you. Thank you. My good buddy Splorin Ryan was wearing this exact same shirt when we were in Atlanta together last week. Jesse asks, what's my favorite John Hughes movie? Oh, Jesse. I know. It's the easy answer. I know it's the easy answer. But hang on. Hang on, Jesse. Dun, dun. Hey, 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 dun, dun. Ooh, don't you forget about me. Don't even have to think about that. The Breakfast Club is, without question, my favorite John Hughes movie. I have so much love for that movie. This is one of those movies you stop everything and just watch. If this movie comes on, it's like, drop everything. The Breakfast Club's on. I love this movie. Anyway. Look what I have. Let me see if I can find it. Watch me not be able to find it now. Can I find it? Can I find it? Yes. Found it very quickly. Look what I got here. Look what I got here. Signed by Anthony Michael Hall and also signed by Ali Sheedy. And yeah, Anthony Michael Hall and Ali Sheedy signed this. So 2 down, 3 to go. And oddly enough, my friend Will has one just like this. And his is also signed by 2 of them, but not the same 2. His is signed by Emilio Estevez and Molly Ringwald. So between the 2 of us, Judd Nelson is the only one we're both missing. And I don't think I'll ever get Emilio Estevez, because apparently Emilio Estevez was very reluctant to sign his. He does not like signing autographs, apparently. Anyway, oh, Kyle has left. Good night, Joe. Good night, Kyle. All right. Noladish says, the Josh Gad Muppets would have been so awesome. Muppet Sig Manhattan's my favorite Muppet movie. Noladish, I don't disagree with you on Muppet Sig Manhattan. It's also my favorite Muppet movie. But I don't know. Maybe it's just me. I couldn't get a feel for that series. When I heard the concept, I'm like, this doesn't feel like something felt off to me. I want my sauce says, Joe, I'm curious. I hope this isn't too heavy of a question, but do you think the Joker is making light of mental illness? It's hard to say. I haven't seen the movie, so it's really hard to say. But I don't know. I mean, it's getting rave reviews. Is it making light of mental illness? Obviously, the Joker's mentally ill, but I don't know if it's making light of it. I'd actually have to see how the movie is handled before I could actually answer that. But it's a good question. Marie is in the house. Welcome, Marie. And she's in her pajamas. Welcome, Marie. VMI says, what do I think about the live-action Cowboy Bebop on Netflix? I've never seen Cowboy Bebop because I'm not a fan of anime, but I will check it out when it hits Netflix because it's isn't it John Cho? Did I hear it's John Cho? Do I have that right? Maybe I have that wrong. But I like him. J2H says, Joe, start The Boys. Not till the Dark Crystal's done, my man. I got puppets to watch. I got puppets. No, I will get to The Boys. I'm anxious to watch The Boys, actually. Connor says, can I show my Carrie Fisher autograph? Oh, absolutely. Hang on a second. There it is. There it is. Wait a minute. Let me do it this way. There we go. For Crazy Joe. And she signed it to Crazy Joe from Crazy Carrie Fisher. And I don't know if any of her glitter got caught behind the case, but she covered me with glitter when she signed that. I don't have, behind the bar here, I hung up 4 autographed pictures, and I tried to find what I thought were, at the time I did it, I tried to find the 4 that I thought were the most iconic. So I went with Carrie Fisher, Patrick Stewart, and Avery Brooks together. And then over here we have Billy D. Williams and the Shat Man. So those are the 4 I chose to hang up. Oh, and over here, I have a bunch of the cast of Serenity, but I don't have all of them yet. There's Jewel State. That is Adam Baldwin, the late Ron Glass, and Alan Tudyk. And Alan Tudyk also signed this Rogue One action figure. So there we go. Whoa, I'm showing you my messy house. I apologize. Christine would not like that on camera. But to be fair, we have a 4-year-old. We can't keep it clean. Every time we clean it, she says, I want to play in the basement, and then it becomes a mess again. It's just the way it goes. All right, I am way behind on the chats. Aubrey says I need a frame for that Breakfast Club poster. I agree, Aubrey, but I'm kind of holding off because I'm hoping to get Molly Ringwald and Judd Nelson on there. I figure Judd Nelson's got to do conventions sometime, right? I mean, I know he's done some Transformers conventions, but J2H, you do need to see The Breakfast Club. Nola Dees, yes, if I saw the documentary about a group of filmmakers trying to find John Hughes. I did. I enjoyed that. Anthony Michael Hall was kind of a jerk, though. He refused to be in the documentary without, like, getting a producer credit. And then if he got a producer credit, he wanted to get paid. And they didn't have any money. Anyway, Jesse says, good choice, Joe. Breakfast Club is a great movie. Definitely one of my favorites. Oh, yeah, those are great. Jesse also likes Planes, Trains, and Automobiles and Ferris Bueller's Day Off. Both classics. Both terrific movies. J2H says, Aubrey, I'm gathering that. Yo, J2H, you got to see it, man. You got to see it. And you know what? I'll tell you. Spring for the Criterion. You won't be disappointed. Of course, yeah, you know, these Criterion discs, they're not cheap. I know. But this is a movie that deserves the Criterion treatment. Anyway. Connor McGregor asked if I will be seeing Hustlers this weekend. No. This weekend is RetroCon. I don't know if I'll get out to the movies at all this weekend. If I do, I still want to see Ready or Not, which kind of opened like right before Dragon Con, so it kind of got lost in the shuffle. I haven't seen that yet, but if I go to the movies, it'll probably be Ready or Not. And Wednesday, I'm seeing Star Trek: The Motion Picture. J2H says, grow a beard. No. VMI119 says, Cowboy Bebop's really good anime. You don't have to like anime to enjoy it. You see, the thing is, though, VMI, I'm sure the story's fine. But it's not the story. I don't like the look of anime. Like, the look of the animation really bothers me. Yeah, I've tried. I can't do anime. I can't do anime. But I'll watch the live-action version. Nola Dees says, just finished The Dark Crystal and absolutely loved it. Oh, man. I'm absolutely loving it. You know, Nola Dees, I don't know if you heard, I ran into one of the puppeteers who worked on The Dark Crystal. She's Brea, the puppeteer who performs Brea on The Dark Crystal. I ran into her in passing at Dragon Con. I didn't even recognize, like, I didn't know what she looked like. I knew her work, I knew her name, I knew her work, but I didn't know her face. But she was with Peter Linz, who's Walter in the Muppet movies, and I knew his face, and I stopped him. I'm like, Peter Linz, and he introduced me. He says, this is Alice Deneen, and she's Brea on The Dark Crystal. I got a picture with her. They were both really cool. They were both wonderful. Marty McFly is in the house. Welcome, Marty. CJ Cooper says, where's Leonard Nimoy autograph? I never got an autograph from Leonard Nimoy. I would have loved to, but I never got an autograph from him. However, I did finally get my first autograph of Mr. Spock because I met Ethan Peck at Dragon Con, So there are now 3 Spocks, and I have met 1 out of 3. I saw Leonard Nimoy speak a couple times, but both times I went to a con where he was speaking, he wasn't signing autographs. Joey says Mean Girls is more of a classic than The Breakfast Club. No, that's just absurd. That is just absurd. Anyway, Reptile Dude says, Joe, I know you said that you don't like anime because of the animation, but I think it definitely has some beautiful animation. You should check out one called Garden of Words. I'll look it up. I'm not familiar. I've never heard of Garden of Words, but I'll look it up. I Want My Sauce says Joe hates anime, doesn't even like Studio Ghibli. Yeah, agreed. I don't like Studio Ghibli. I don't like the look of it. Marty says, who would I like to direct the next Star Trek film? Quentin Tarantino. I want to see that Tarantino Star Trek film. I really feel like we will be at a loss if we don't get that Tarantino Star Trek film, because there's these weird little projects that you hear about, and sometimes they happen, sometimes they don't, and when they don't happen, they become the stuff of legend. A good example is Tim Burton's Nicolas Cage Superman movie. What a weird thing. We still talk about it. There's a whole documentary about it. We still talk about that movie that didn't happen. And that's what this Tarantino Star Trek's going to be. It's going to be, if this doesn't happen, it's going to be one of those things we always talk about. You know, Quentin Tarantino almost did a Star Trek movie. I don't care if it's good. I don't care if it's bad. I just want to see what it is. I want to see what he has in mind. No matter how bad it is, it won't kill Star Trek. We've had bad Star Trek movies before. Star Trek bounces back. First of all, Star Trek is always primarily a TV series. Star Trek's always done its best work on TV. So the movies are just kind of these extra things. Sometimes they're good, sometimes they're not so good. So I'm not even worried if it's not good, because I know a good one will come down the pike a little bit later. I just want to know what Tarantino has in mind. I can't wait to see this weird thing, the Tarantino Star Trek movie. What is it? Let me see it, please. It's especially fascinating to me because Dave Perillo and our friend Mike and I, the 3 of us, used to joke around about Tarantino doing Star Trek in the 90s. We used to joke around about Pulp Star Trek. And we would do scenes from Pulp Fiction as Star Trek characters. We'd be like Geordi and Data as Vincent and Jules. We'd be like, you know what they call the quarter pounder with cheese on Rigel 7? Stuff like that. We'd have like Miles O'Brien as the Tarantino character. Did you see the sign on my lawn that said Dead Vulcan Storage? You didn't see a sign because there's no sign. Do you know what Keiko would do if she came home and found, you're calling the wharf? The wharf would come up, I'm the wharf, I solve problems. We used to always joke about this. And now, Pulp Star Trek, this joke we had from the 90s, is this close to actually happening? Yeah, long-winded answer. Tarantino's Star Trek. There you go. Anyway, where were we? I lost my spot. Steve L says, who's the main draw at RetroCon? Probably Gil Gerard, though Melindy Britt's going to be there too. The voice actress who voiced the original She-Ra. Joey says, it's true. I'm willing to bet if you did a poll, Mean Girls... Oh, come on, man. Does anyone else actually think here that Mean Girls is more culturally significant than The Breakfast Club? Joey, I think you're alone on this one, man. Maybe I'm wrong, but I don't think I am. This is a true classic for the generations here. Anyway. Noladish says, Force Box, don't forget the one with the goatee. But that was still Nimoy, though. That was still Nimoy. But yeah, there's actually more than 4 Spocks if we count all the kids that played him in Search for Spock when he was getting progressively older. Jesse says, watch 3 Men and a Baby and was shocked to find out it was directed by Leonard Nimoy. Yes. That was the first movie he did, I think, that wasn't a Star Trek movie. Conor McGregor asked if I've met Kevin Conroy. I have. I have an autographed picture of him in here somewhere. Marty McFly says, same with the Nick Cage Superman. Exactly. Noladish piggybacks that and says, I want the Tim Burton Nick Cage Superman movie so bad. That crazy thing would have been incredibly good or bad. Yes, it's one of those things where it doesn't matter if it's good or bad. You just want to see what it would have been. Have you guys, Marty and Noladish, have you seen the documentary by the late John Schnepp, Superman, The Death of Superman Lives, What Happened? If you haven't, it's worth checking out. Punk Nerd says, hey Joe, just got off mentorship and am creating YouTube videos. Awesome! I will check them out. Everyone go subscribe to Punk Nerd. Conor McGregor says, I was excited for the George Miller Justice League movie that was never made. Yes, I've read the script. It was really good, too. It was really good. I think they were going about it all wrong, though. Because Superman Returns had just come out, and they were going to cast a different Superman in Justice League, and then they were going to do a sequel to Superman Returns with Brandon Routh. Like, they were... I think they were going to cause brand confusion, though I know a lot of the fault there lies on Christopher Nolan, because Christopher Nolan refused to let them use his version of Batman. I don't know. Marty says He-Man or Thundercats. God, Marty. He-Man. He-Man! Anyway. Joey says, have I heard the story of Looney Tunes back in action? The backstory. Apparently Joe Dante had a very different vision in mind and wasn't allowed to do it and was unhappy with the final product. I never heard that, but I did hear him say many times he was going to make the anti-Space Jam. And I love what he made. So I'm happy with it. Jesse says, Breakfast Club hands down. Agreed. Agreed, Jesse. Oh, Joey. Joey, man. The Breakfast Club sucks. See, now I think you're trolling. Now I think nobody thinks the Breakfast Club sucks. Punk Nerd says, I agree with Joe. Breakfast Club is better. There we go. John Hine. Hey, welcome, John. Welcome, welcome, welcome. Joey says, what are my thoughts on Walter from the Muppets? My friend described Walter as if a Star Wars fan was inside a Star Wars movie. I love Walter. I love Walter. I think one of the problems I think with the 2015 series, which I really liked, was that Walter wasn't in it. Where was Walter? You spent 2 movies building up Walter, and then he's not there on the show? That was weird. Walter was sorely missed. But yeah, I like Walter a lot. And my God, Peter Linz, nice guy. Walter also has one of the greatest Muppet songs. Am I a man? Or am I a Muppet? Noladish says, yes, that documentary, Death of Superman Lives, was really cool. Love seeing the artwork, suit tests. That thing was going to be wild. Yeah. I don't know if it was going to be good, but it was going to be wild. I wish we could have seen it. J2H says, how can you watch this doc? Well, J2H, the late John Schnepp was selling it, I think, off his website, which I think was thedeathofsupermanlives.com. I don't know. But I don't know if they're still selling it. John Schnepp died a little over a year ago. Very sad, very tragic. I don't know if his wife is still selling them. I don't know. Do a Google search, though. But if you can buy it off the website, I recommend doing so. Joey says he's still mad they didn't let Toby voice Peter B. Parker in Into the Spider-Verse. They said it would cause too much confusion. Yeah, that was weird. I don't know what they were thinking there, because it was obvious that Jake Johnson was playing the Tobey Maguire version from the flashbacks and everything. J2H says, am I a Breaking Bad fan? I do like Breaking Bad and Better Call Saul. Can't wait for Better Call Saul to come back. Chester says, another film that was never made, I don't know how to pronounce that guy's name, Jodorowsky's Dune. Yeah, I agree. I've seen the documentary. That's another one. I don't know. These always come off like missed opportunities. Like, hey, here's this thing you could have had, but you never will. You know, it's like... And I know people who are like, oh no, Tarantino would make a terrible Star Trek movie. I don't want to see that. And it's like, well, don't be selfish. Don't be selfish. The rest of us want to see it. Don't keep us from seeing that. Did you know that, Connor says, did you know Nicolas Cage actually got to portray Superman in the big screen in Teen Titans Go to the Movies? Yes, I saw Teen Titans Go to the Movies twice on the big screen. Own the Blu-ray. So much love for that movie. And yeah, and he was Superman, and then later that same year he was Spider-Man Noir. So he gets to play all the superheroes in voice acting. Jesse says, love the line from Paul Gleason's character on Breakfast Club, you mess with the bull, you get the horns. That movie's got so many great lines. Noladish says, J2H, it's available to purchase from various stream sites, I believe. It's also available in hard format as well. Check Amazon, I think. Hang on, I do have the Blu-ray. Let's see if I can find it. I hate walking away from you guys like this. Sorry. Where is it? Here it is. Here it is. The Death of Superman Lives. What happened? Kevin Smith is in it. And, yeah. Kevin Smith says, if you're a superhero comic book movie fan, it's a must-see. It's a nerd effing dream come true. A documentary film by John Schnepp. To anyone who's not familiar with John Schnepp, you know, any of you not familiar with John Schnepp? John Schnepp was a YouTube personality. Used to appear on Collider, on the Collider site. Hosted a weekly superhero show called Collider Heroes. He appeared on Collider Movie Talk like almost every day. And he was a big old nerd like us. He was one of us. And he sadly passed away a year ago. It's very sad. Very unexpectedly, too. So, I don't know. If you don't know who John Schnepp is, his passing was unfortunate. But he made a great documentary. And Marty says, who would you want to take over for Henry Cavill as Superman? First of all, I want them to bring Henry Cavill back. I don't want them to replace Henry Cavill as Superman. But if we do replace Henry Cavill as Superman, I think the only person who should replace Henry Cavill as Superman is the person who should not have been replaced as Superman, Brandon Routh. Brandon Routh is leaving Legends of Tomorrow this season. He's got time in his schedule. If you can't get Henry Cavill back, bring back Brandon Routh as Superman. He was so good in that part. He never should have been recasted. Routh is my guy. Totally Brandon Routh. John says, I watched Coffee last night with Pam Grier for the first time. It was amazing. I love Pam, the Coffee. Well, was that the one with King James? He's a pimp. It's like, yes, I can tell he's a pimp. He's dressed like a pimp. I know he's a pimp. I love that movie. And that scene, the one scene where the girls are all having the fight and they start tearing each other's clothes off, eventually it gets to the point of ridiculousness where, like, their shirts are just breaking open for no reason. It's just like, psh. It's like nothing even happened to that one's shirt. It's just like they're just popping open for no reason now. That's a ridiculous movie, and I do enjoy it. Punk Nerd says, Death of Superman Lives is only on digital. There are physical copies out there. You can find them. I know that they were selling them on the website. If they're not selling them on the website anymore, check eBay. But you can find a physical copy if you look. They were made. CJ says it's like the Fantastic Four 94 movie that never got a release. I actually have a Blu-ray of that too, CJ. Joey Baseball says Dwayne Johnson was supposed to play Johnny Bravo, but that never happened. Oh, I didn't even know about that one. That would have been entertaining. Reptile Dude says, speaking of Superman, do you plan to watch The Witcher on Netflix? Maybe. I don't know much about The Witcher. It's based on a video game, right? Because I'm not much of a gamer, so I don't know the character. If I hear good things, or if I see a cool trailer, I might check it out. But it's not something I'm, like, excited for, because I don't know enough about it to be excited about it, quite frankly. But J2H says, is it called The Death of Superman Lives? What happened? No, is that a misspelling? No, it's you may have just mistyped it, but yeah, it's What Happened. Marty says he also effed up Ghost Rider. Marty, did he F up Ghost Rider, or did he make it better? I actually love the Nick Cage Ghost Rider for all the wrong reasons. The second one, the first one, the second one was pretty much unwatchable. But the second one, there's a certain way. If you watch it with like a certain way, it's actually very entertaining. Pretend you're watching an Elvis movie. If you've ever seen any Elvis movies, I got a bunch of Elvis movies. Pretend Ghost Rider is an Elvis movie. Just like with the songs missing. Oh God, if there were musical numbers in Ghost Rider, it would be so much better. But Ghost Rider is the best Elvis Presley movie Elvis never made. I stand by that. Oh, it's terrible. But it's also terribly entertaining. J2H found Death of Superman Lives on YouTube. I didn't know it was on YouTube. Joey says Will Smith was offered to play Superman in the 90s, but he turned it down, fearing racists would attack him if he did. I never heard that. I know Chris Rock was being pursued to play Jimmy Olsen for a while. Nola Deesh says, wouldn't it be hilarious if they cast Taylor Lautner as Superman for Robert Pattinson's Batman? The difference is Robert Pattinson's actually a good actor. I don't think Taylor Lautner's a good... That's just me, though. I don't know. Maybe some people might love him. Connor says, did I watch Cobra Kai? Absolutely. I love Cobra Kai. I can't wait for Season 3. I'm very excited for Season 3, actually. Greg's Game Room is in the house. Welcome, Greg's Game Room. Greg's Game Room. Let's talk about Star Wars Arcade. Did you pre-order it? I want to know. Did you pre-order one? I asked last week, and I think you left the chat too soon. Tell me, Greg, did you pre-order a Star Wars machine? We need to talk about this. Marty says the Witcher games are based on a series of books. Oh, I didn't know that. I haven't read the books either. Full disclosure. Joey says, what if they cast Kristen Stewart as Catwoman to Robert Pattinson's Batman? Can they work together anymore? I don't know. And Greg says, just finished watching Cobra Kai watching Cobra for the not Cobra Kai. You're talking Stallone Cobra. That's a great movie. Did you know the song The Touch was written for Cobra? Dun, 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 dun. You got the touch. You got the power. That was written for Cobra, and Stallone didn't like it. So it didn't end up in Cobra. But that's what it was written for. Reptile says there are a series of books in the game universe is based on, but it diverges a lot. From what I heard, the show will be faithful to the books, and they are pretty good. Okay. Lisa says, oh, hey, caught you live, Muppet friend. Welcome, Lisa. Lisa is a friend of mine from an exclusive secret Muppet Facebook group. And no, you can't get in. The only way to get in is to get invited by the admins, of which I am not. And the only way to get invited by the admins was to like sign on very early on for Frank Oz's last movie. It's a big thing. It's a big thing. But I made a lot of good friends over the years, over the past year. How long has it been? Has it been a year? Met a lot of cool people because of this Facebook group. So sorry, dude, you missed your chance. If you want to get in on them up at Facebook group, the time. Don't blame me. Don't blame me. I have no control over it. I'm not an admin. I don't have the power to let you in. But I met some cool people. Anyway, Greg says, no, going to wait for Star Wars Arcade deals. Do you think there's going to be deals? Isn't that a limited edition machine, man? I thought it was limited edition. We got to talk about this. We should get on the old squawk box, as the kids call it. You know, this is the hip lingo today's kids use. Get on the horn, you know, the squawk box, the two-way talking machine. I don't know what do kids call it today. But you got to tell me what you know. Because if you think there's going to be deals, I want to know about this. Because I thought it was like a limited edition thing. Joey says, Greg, did that person ever find Maury at Dragon Con? I think he's still looking, man. I think he's still out there. I think he's in California looking for Maury now. I think that dude was in like Pigeon Forge, Tennessee looking for Maury. Still hasn't found him. Connor says, are you team Daniel or Johnny now? I might be team Johnny. Daniel turned into kind of a creep, didn't he? I don't know. Johnny's a lot more sympathetic now, I'll tell you that. Miladish says, Zombie Cop, shoot first, ask questions later. Cobra, great movie. Craig says, I was laughing through Cobra the whole movie, especially the car chase that had no continuity from shot to shot. Marty says, least favorite Muppet. Oh, that's easy. Miss Piggy. Miss Piggy. I'm not a huge Miss Piggy fan, gotta say. On the 2015 series, when Kermit broke up with Miss Piggy for Denise, the new pig, I like Denise better. I was like, that's a good, yeah, no, I can't fault for Kermit. Denise is nicer. That's just me. I'm in the minority. People love Miss Piggy. Joey says, I hate Facebook, but a lot of people seem to love that horrible site. Joey says, I feel like I just say for the record, Mean Girls is a much better movie than Breakfast Club. Joey, that's your opinion, and you have your right to it. But I don't think that's true. I think you have to make a video comparing Mean Girls to Breakfast Club. Are Mean Girls and Breakfast Club even similar movies? Like, are they, I mean, I guess they're both set in high school. I guess there's that. They're both high school movies. But, yeah. I could never say that, I don't know. I haven't seen the movie, obviously, but I don't know how you could say Mean Girls is more culturally significant than this. This is the stuff here, man. Don't you forget about me. Was there even a song in Mean Girls, man? It's the song alone. The song alone. Bender with the arm up, going through the football field. I'm sorry. No, Breakfast Club, man. Breakfast Club. I Want My Sauce says, I love Miss Piggy. A lot of people love Miss Piggy. I know, I'm in the minority on this one. All right, but she's so mean. She doesn't treat Kermit good. Let's be honest. She's mean to Kermit. She karate chops the crap out of him all the time. It's an abusive relationship, man. Kermit gets physically assaulted by her constantly. Lisa says, any chance you thinking of heading to Rhode Island Comic-Con for Carol's last con? I won't be able to get there, Lisa, unfortunately. I don't have a lot of extra money, and I just won't be able to make it. But I'm sure Ryan Sullivan will be there. Definitely get together with Ryan Sullivan when you're there. Ryan is a great guy. I love Ryan. John says, I like Mean Girls, but why compare the two? Good question. It's like comparing Star Trek to Star Wars. Well, I don't know. Maybe it isn't, because I haven't seen Mean Girls. I don't know. But I would say Star Trek and Star Wars are not similar. They have a space setting. Similarities end there. They're very different. Greg says, name some other Stallone movies I should watch besides Rocky Rambo. Over the Top. Come on, didn't Adam tell you this? Didn't Adam, like, dinner last Saturday? Wasn't Adam saying Over the Top? I second him. Gotta watch Over the Top. Have you seen Over the Top, Greg? Have you seen Over the Top? Gotta see Over the Top. I also, you know what? People don't like it. I know people put it down, but I enjoy the crap out of Judge Dredd. Is it a good Judge Dredd movie? No, it's not a good Judge Dredd movie, but it's a good Stallone movie. There's a difference. Joey says, not really similar. The girls in Mean Girls are very mean. Connor says, what makes the Criterion release a Breakfast Club special? I have the film on Blu-ray, but not Criterion. Well, Criterion just always does such a great job. So a lot of special features on here. Audio commentary from 2008 featuring Anthony Michael Hall and Judd Nelson in new interviews with Molly Ringwald and Ali Sheedy. Video essay featuring director John Hughes, production notes read by Nelson. Documentary from 2008 featuring interview with the cast and crew. 50 minutes of never before seen deleted and extended scenes. Rare promotional and archival interviews. Excerpts from a 1985 American Film Institute seminar with John Hughes. A 1999 radio interview with John Hughes. Segment from a 1985 episode of NBC's Today featuring the cast. Audio interview with Ringwald from a 2014 episode of This American Life. There's a lot of extra stuff on here. Criterion always just does a bang-up job on their releases. Greg says, have I finished The Dark Crystal yet? No, I'm 4 episodes in. I'm loving it. But, you know, Christine and I, the way our nights go, getting Kira to bed, we really can't do more than an episode a night. And in fact, Christine said to me, "Are you doing the live stream tonight?" And I said, "Yes." And she said, "Oh, darn, that means we can't watch The Dark Crystal." So she's disappointed. Lisa says, "Can't wait to say hi to Ryan. Great dude, Sulfies." Exactly, Sulfies. Marty says it's like comparing Charlotte's Web to Babe Pig in the City. Fair enough. Fair enough. Joey says, "Joe, you have to see Mean Girls. You may not get what's so amazing because you might be too old, but it's an amazing movie." Well, one of these days I'll try to check it out. But again, I don't have it. Like, I don't own it. So it's one of those movies that I would actually have to, like, acquire first. I don't know. If I'm in a thrift store and I see it, I'll pick it up. But I don't even own it now, so... Greg says, "Name your favorite movie to video game adaptation." Greg, it's a no-brainer. It's Star Wars. It is Star Wars. Star Wars is, I've always said, it's my favorite video game, my favorite arcade game of all time is Star Wars. I've always said that. I've always said if I was rich and could have a arcade cabinet in my house, Star Wars. Like, I've wanted that Star Wars arcade game for so long. So this is the whole arcade one-up thing is very exciting to me. Very exciting. I think it's almost worth it at any price because those arcade cabinets I've always wanted, and I can't afford one. Next to Star Wars, it's got to be Tron. But yeah, those would be the two. Star Wars by a mile, and then Tron. Joey says Mean Girls has more memes than Breakfast Club does. I don't think I've ever seen a Mean Girl meme. I don't know. Joey says Mean Girls is free on HBO. Well, I'll have to look. Marty says, "Do I like the Inspector Gadget movies?" I like the original cartoon. I've never seen any of the movies. All right, guys. We're just past 10. I think I'm going to have to wrap things up for the night. Thank you for watching. Appreciate it. Happy to have you here, as always. Go subscribe to J2H. He's so close to... what's the count, J2H? You still there? Where are we? What's your count right now? Give us an update, man. Watch this. I'm talking to him, waiting for him to update us. I bet he's left the chat. I bet he's not even here anymore. So I'm talking to nobody. J2H, you there? Oh, 42 more, good sir. Okay, please. If you haven't subbed to the man, go give him a sub. I'd recommend getting a custom-made arcade cabinet that you can load a lot of games on. I'm not that crafty, Marty. I'm not that crafty. Joey Baseball says Crazy After Dark will be Monday next week. Thank you for reminding me, Joey Baseball. I almost forgot to say it again. Yes, next Monday. Crazy After Dark will be Monday, probably around 10 o'clock when Cinema Sickness finishes his live stream. Because I will not be here Wednesday. I'm going to see Star Trek the Motion Picture on the big screen. And, yeah, you can catch me Monday instead. Monday around 10. And I'll pop into the chat on Cinema Sicknesses. I always kind of watch his live. If I'm not there, I'm always watching his live stream between ferrying children off to bed. So I will pop in and remind everyone at that time, too. That's right. Lisa says, Monday, Monday, Monday. Greg says, get a Raspberry Pi and a Retro Pi. Practically every game you ever want. Greg, did you put out your video yet on how to modify the PlayStation, the PS1 classics? Because I need to watch that video. I need to learn how to modify my PS1 classic. There is a couple games I would like to add to that thing. Remember the game? What was the name of the game? It had Bruce Campbell doing a voice in it. And I can't remember the name now. I really liked it. There was a PlayStation 1 game with Bruce Campbell. I'm blanking. It was a great game, though. And I'd like to get it on my PS1 Classic, but but it would help if I remember the name of the game, which I don't. Darn. Anyway. Well, sitting here watching me try to recall the name of a game from 20 years ago is not entertaining viewing. So I will... Broken Helix. That was the name of the game. Broken Helix. I'd love to get that one on my classic. I could figure out how to do it. And the old game You Don't Know Jack. You remember You Don't Know Jack? I'd like to get that on there. And 10 Pin Alley, the bowling game. I'd like to get that on there. Anyway, I'm just ranting now. All right, guys. Until Monday. Keep wearing those pajamas.